Hi, my name is Gabriella. Like you and thousands of other students throughout the district, I depend on the school bus as transportation to and from school every day. And for those of you who don't, you'll probably end up taking the bus for a field trip, a sporting event, or some other school activity. So here's some information for all of us to know when riding the bus.
First of all, know that the bus drivers are highly trained and take their jobs very seriously. They report early to work each morning to do a complete examination of the bus before picking up any students. The bus drivers are joined by many other people that we don't see, who do their best to keep us safe and keep the buses running on time, including the transportation director and the staff at the transportation office, who also work together with the California Highway Patrol. And of course, we don't want to forget the people in the repair shop, including our hardworking mechanics and others who keep the buses running in top shape.
We also have the responsibility to help keep things running smoothly and help keep ourselves and other passengers safe by simply following these 3 basic rules.
Remain seated while the bus is in motion. Do not extend hands, arms, or heads through the bus windows. Be courteous to the driver, to each other, and to passerby.
Just in case you didn't know, a passerby is anyone passing outside of the bus. It's also very important to know that there are no animals allowed on the bus. This includes fish, insects, snakes, pot-bellied pigs. Well, you get the idea. The only exception to this rule would be a seeing eye dog. Those are allowed. Sorry, Melvin.
On your way to school or the bus stop, it's always safety first. Be careful when crossing any street, but be extra careful crossing the extra busy streets. Stop, look, and listen. And when you're sure it's safe, quickly cross the street. And just a little reminder, we need to be considerate of our neighbors when walking to or from our bus stop or school. Don't cross or play on their property. Use a sidewalk. I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
When catching the bus, you should plan to be at the bus stop 5 minutes before the bus is scheduled to arrive. If you're being dropped off at your stop, remind whoever's dropping you off the importance of arriving early. We all need to do our part to keep the buses running on time. Thanks, Mom. When lining up at the bus stop, whether catching the bus to school or home, remember to stand 12 feet away from the roadway, which would be about right here. When the bus arrives, wait for the bus to completely stop before approaching the bus. Wait for the driver to set the brake and open the doors. When boarding the bus, watch your step. It's a good idea to use the handrail to help keep from falling or slipping back. If you are loading somewhere other than a school site, the bus driver will turn on the red lights before opening the door for you to enter. The law states that all traffic must stop when the red lights are flashing.
Once you're inside the bus, you'll see that the seats are equipped with seat belts. As demonstrated by these students, to use the seat belts, you simply pull the belt over your shoulder and click the fastener. If you're carrying backpacks or loose articles, you can simply place them on your lap or at your feet. Okay, let's say you've boarded the bus for home and have arrived at your stop. If you need to cross the street, the driver must get out of the bus and make sure it's safe to cross. The driver will have you wait inside the bus and will enter the roadway and make sure all traffic is stopped. The driver will then signal you to exit the bus and safely cross the street. It's important for your safety to cross the street between the bus and the driver, not behind the bus or down the block with your friends. If you don't need to cross the street, just exit the bus and head home. Or, if you are exiting the bus to go to school, go straight to your campus. It's not a good idea to play anywhere closely around the bus. These areas here are especially dangerous, and it's hard for the driver to see you if you're standing or playing near them. If you should drop something near any one of these areas, let the driver know what's going on. Most likely, the driver will assist you in getting the item.
Never assume the driver can see you in any of the mirrors.
We already know how important it is not to distract the driver while riding the bus. This is especially important when the driver comes to a train crossing. The driver must stop and make sure no train is approaching before crossing the tracks. The driver will open the door, look both ways down the tracks, close the door, and cross.
There are going to be times when students forget how to act appropriately when riding the bus, and problems may occur. To help protect you and your driver, the buses are equipped with the witness surveillance system. The cameras record all activity on the bus and are located here, here, and here. Smile. If a situation should happen where the bus is moving and something happens to the driver, or the driver is no longer in control, it's important to know how to stop the bus. Located here is the emergency brake. Simply pull the brake and the bus will come to a stop.
The driver's radio is very useful for emergencies. You can speak directly to the dispatcher and other drivers. To operate the radio, you simply remove it from its holder and press the button on the side to talk, and release the button to listen. Located here, in case of an emergency, is a fire extinguisher and a first aid kit. And located throughout the bus are emergency exits. You can see that they are all marked and have instructions on how to use them. We'll start with the front door, which also works as an emergency exit. To open this door, you pull this lever to release the air, which allows us to push the door open using our arms, as demonstrated by our driver. The front windshield of the bus can also be used as an emergency exit. In the case of an actual emergency, you would put your hand or foot against it and give it a hard push. The window is designed to pop out easily. The side door emergency exit has instructions located here, telling us to pull up the handle and push out the door, like this. The bus is also equipped with an emergency exit on the roof, which would be especially useful if the bus were on its side. Simply push the hatch open, turn the handle, and push again. This side window emergency exit instructs us to pull up the handle and push out the window. All of the side windows along the bus can also be used for emergency exits by putting the window all the way down and carefully putting your leg out of the window and resting your foot on this ledge, and then carefully lowering yourself to the ground. Because the window is very high from the ground, in an emergency where this is the only way out, you would want to move quickly, but very carefully. Okay, now that we know where all the emergency exits are, we need to know how to properly evacuate or get out of the bus in an emergency. The most important thing to take out of the bus is ourselves. So that means that we're not going to worry about bringing our books, backpacks, or other items with us. The first thing we do is quickly button or zipper up any loose clothing so nothing will catch as we exit the bus. The students closest to the emergency exit will exit the bus first by sitting on the floor and easing out of the bus. That student will then quickly help the second student out. Standing on both sides of the emergency exit, these two students will then help the other students out by extending their arms, palms up, giving the other students something to lean on. The students exiting the bus will place their hands, palms down, on the hands of the student helpers as they ease themselves out of the bus. As students are evacuating, they need to find an area about 100 feet away from the bus to avoid further injury in case of a fire, such as what happened here. Because of the driver's quick work and the students knowing the emergency evacuation procedure, no one was injured.
Well, I hope you got some good information from this video. I now know that our bus drivers, along with many others, are working hard every day to make sure our rides are enjoyable and safe. So let's do our part and make theirs an enjoyable riding experience too. Have a really good year and happy riding. Oh, my bus is here. Gotta go. Bye.